Bitcoin has been consolidating in price for the past month now, resulting in many investors becoming unsure of what the next move for BTC may be. So let's find the key price levels for both the upside and the downside that we need to be watching. Today, we're going to be looking at the key price levels for Bitcoin over the coming weeks and months. And as we can see, over the past month or so, Bitcoin has been ranging between this new all-time high we've set at about $74,000 and this $60,000 support level. If we just zoom in a little bit closer here on the CycleMaster, we can see Bitcoin has basically been coiling in, unsure if it wants to make a move higher or potentially break down for a move even lower. But if we just zoom out on the CycleMaster chart here, just very quickly, we can see that the nearest big level of resistance, according to this, would be about $85,000 if we had to get a big break to the upside. And beneath us, this is sitting around $50,000 for a pretty key level of support if we were to break significantly lower. But if we just go over to the TradingView chart here, I think we can explain a little better. So two key look into Bitcoin metrics we often use for these type of videos is the golden ratio multiplier and the pi cycle top indicator here. So we'll just stick to the golden ratio for the time being. And we can see Bitcoin has actually been bouncing off of these two moving averages absolutely perfectly for a number of weeks now. We can see this red moving average here marked the local price action top as Bitcoin's price just briefly passed above it and then turned it into resistance. And we've now actually come down and actually rebounded off of this slightly lower green moving average band here to really give us really clean indications of moving levels of support and resistance for BTC. And this is currently sitting at around $61,000, $62,000. Bear in mind that this green moving average, well, all of these moving averages are actually moving up ever so slightly every single day. So in the next coming days, I'm sure this will be at around $62,000, this lower support level. And this will actually be climbing to around the $80,000 in the next few days. So again, that $60,000 level being almost re-supported with multiple levels of confluence now. And this $80,000 number may be a key level to watch as a price target if we had to break to new all-time highs. And again, if we just look at the pi cycle top indicator here, this is also coinciding with an $80,000 peak resistance here. And this is coming up a little bit slower to around the $54,000, $55,000 level if we were to break beneath that $60,000 line. But I think one thing a lot of people get a little bit over ahead of themselves in times like these is they try and find the most obscure trend lines. They try and look for things hidden in the charts that maybe other people aren't seeing. And I don't really think it needs to be that complicated. I think you just need to do this technical analysis kind of play every few weeks, every couple months maybe. And then you can really simply play the levels and just take your time with your investing. If I just zoom out here, all I've done, simplest trick in the book, is just put lines at the big psychological round number levels. So $30,000 all the way up to $80,000. And we can see every single one of these lines has had a huge influence on the Bitcoin price action for over 3 years now. So these are hugely influential levels simply because they have 4 zeros in them. So if we just zoom into price action here, we can see that this $70,000 resistance level has been absolutely key for Bitcoin. And just above this $60,000 line has been where Bitcoin has found support over the last few months. And we can see beneath that $50,000, once Bitcoin broke above that, it turned this into support, maybe just slightly higher than that towards this $52,000 level. Because if we go back to the previous bull cycle here, we can see that Bitcoin multiple times hit this $52,000. I'll just turn this a slightly different color so it's more obvious to see. It hit this $52,000 level on multiple occasions, turning into resistance. So we'll say that the $50,000 to $52,000 level is probably a very key level to be watching as well. And then above us, like we said, $70,000, the previous all-time high, which is sitting at about $69,000 there. So I would say we're probably likely to range a little bit more unless we get a really decisive breakout in the next few weeks for BTC. It wouldn't surprise me, and it would actually be quite healthy for the Bitcoin price action if we were to just range between these two levels. I know it would be very boring, but this is almost what we need to shake out the leverage, reset, allow new spot capital inflows to flow into the market to really fuel a substantial leg higher. If we look at something like the short-term holder realized price, this is the average accumulation price for new market participants. We can just zoom in here and see that this is once again sitting at just beneath $60,000, but climbing every single day as new investors are still accumulating BTC. What we can see throughout all of Bitcoin's price history is during a bull cycle, this is a really key level to accumulate more during a bull cycle with a really great risk to reward. We can see throughout all of this 2016, 2017, once we decisively broken above this, accumulating on this short-term investor break-even point was a great level to accumulate more discounted BTC. Probably because new market participants are maybe getting shaken out of the market at this point. Once they've made a little bit of money, but price retraces to their break-even point, maybe they exit the market. Maybe this is just a point where they accumulate more to increase their exposure. But what we can see, and again here in 2020 into 2021, if you got an opportunity to accumulate at this level, it was a golden entry for the following cycle. And we can see here, even since we set our bottom last year, once we've bounced off this at around $20,000 and here, and we spent a few weeks beneath it in late 2023, bounced off it again in early 2024. And as this is climbing up now, if we were to come back down to the $60,000 level, I really think that that's a very key level of support, and it'd give a really good risk to reward, especially after a 20% drawdown from the local all-time high we've just set. So that'd be a great entry price. And like we said, above that, I think we need to break a new all-time high first. But above that, why overcomplicate it? Let's just look to the $80,000 psychological level. And then above that, this cycle master, which is pointing towards $85,000 is the next key resistance for BTC. Also, if you haven't already, please don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications to ensure you're receiving all of our content as soon as it's released. And make sure to check out all the content we've discussed today, as well as the many more resources we have available on lookintobitcoin.com, your number one source for Bitcoin information. So just to summarize, Bitcoin has had a very choppy period of price action for the past month, ranging between the $60,000 and $72,000 region, leaving many investors slightly unsure of what's likely to happen next for BTC. And above current price, we can see between the previous all-time high and the current all-time high, which is about the $69,000 to $74,000 levels, that's likely to be a key area of sell pressure, as investors maybe see that as a key level of resistance, an area to take some profit. Maybe they bought higher and just looking to get out at a break even. We can see that that is likely a key level we need to break through before we can move substantially higher. And the next point I would look to is that big psychological level of $80,000. And above that, even higher, that cycle master pointing out $85,000 as a key over aggressively valued price point. But remember, these are moving levels of support and resistance. So by the time we reach that, it might be at $90,000. And beneath current price action, $60,000 still looks to be a very strong level of support. Maybe down towards that 58K region as well. We have a few moving averages converging towards that level. And what we really need to look for is confluence throughout many metrics. If we get not only technical points, but also on-chain market cycle and other technical factors all aligning to give support at one region, that really solidifies that that probably is a very key level of buy pressure if we had to see further downside. But if we had to break beneath that, which we have to acknowledge is always a possibility, especially in Bitcoin, where 20, 30, 40% retracements during a bull cycle, and not just not unheard of, but actually pretty common, and we're yet to see a big drawn-out drawdown period throughout this bull cycle. So maybe we do even lower, and then I'd look towards that 52K to 50K level, because I think that would be another big psychological region, and also once again aligns pretty nicely with some other technical and on-chain charts that we've looked at. If you like this video, then please visit lookintobitcoin.com, where you can also consider becoming a site subscriber to gain access to professional resolution charts, advanced macro and portfolio data tools, in-depth crypto industry reports, live and personalized indicator alerts, private TradingView scripts, and more, all for a fraction of the standard industry price. And let me know what levels you're watching towards on the chart. Are you trying to accumulate more? Are you maybe locking in some profit, expecting a deeper retracement for Bitcoin? As I said, let me know. I look forward to reading and replying to all of them. Thank you all very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.